Hello, how are you? Welcome, Dennis.
Welcome, Karen. You know, you got a bad reputation.
Why?
I don't know, every time a woman does something wrong, they call her Karen. I don't get it.
That's because I'm the leader.
I wonder
Ha!
who came up
That's
with
a
that.
joke. Anyway, so what's going on?
Well, this is our second show in a long time.
Yes.
We'd like you to spread the word. Me and Karen will be probably doing a lot of shows, but there'll be times when we'll have guests on, and there may be times when either one of us may have a guest that will be just ourselves. So spread the word. It's about seniors. It's about children. It's about New London. And then I'll go a little crazy once in a while with something to do national, which probably make her head spin. But so I asked you on the way here if there was any travel events coming up. You know how you guys you get on a bus and you go somewhere.
Yeah, so I don't have it with me here. I don't think. I know I don't. And I can't tell you without I get my phone out
Yeah.
what's going on next month. But we do have next month planned.
You guys leave like 6, 7 o'clock in the morning, don't you?
No.
Yeah.
The only time we leave at as early as 7:30 is for the Big E.
You guys went up last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah, and we're going again this year.
What do you get up? Does that cost you?
Yeah,
How much is it to go up?
as much as it costs to get in.
Oh, I thought it was a package deal.
No.
All righty. So we were also talking about the console. That's going to be a lot of folks I think we'll be talking about because I don't think you folks out there, Karen is probably the one that goes to the console probably more than some of the counselors.
You're right.
I haven't been in a little while, but man, there's stuff going on there that nobody seems to be paying attention.
Yeah, they're not.
I mean, you know, there's all kinds of things for the seniors. The two, like I was saying, the two most important things are the children and the seniors. The seniors usually have a lot of knowledge in their head, depending on how old they are, and that's who the kids should also be learning from. That's how you learn what the real world's like, because you don't know what the hell they're teaching in schools anymore.
That's for sure.
So,
Well, this last week there was a group of kids in. Most of them were high schoolers. They're some group that's in New London. The problem with them was most of them were directing their questions, and a lot of them spoke, but they were directing their questions and their complaints to the school board. Well, the council can't do too much to that,
no, they can't.
except listen to them, and that's agreeable.
But they still have a little sway.
Yeah.
I mean, the council and the mayor, they do carry some of the purse.
Not
But
that
anyways,
much.
go ahead.
Well, there is a meeting coming up that's got the school board involved. It's April 17th, which I believe is a Wednesday, at 6 o'clock
Where's it going to be?
at the city hall. And they're going to be listening to the school board. The school board's supposed to be there.
Oh, they're going for a budget?
Yeah. So that should be good. That should be interesting.
Man, it seems like we just did a budget. I think I've been to one of them before.
April 17th. But that's supposed to be the school board budget. So, and the council will be there. That should be interesting.
So you were at the last, you were there this past Monday, right?
Yeah.
All right. I was doing some figuring on. I got 3 agendas here. So I look at how much money goes out, and sometimes they'll tell you it's a grant or whatever, and they make it sound like it didn't cost us anything, but it all does.
Yeah.
Except the grant, you got other people paying it too besides us. So you can't use that logic to me. So as I'm figuring it out of these 3 agendas, it's an average of $4 million a month. So you're looking at $12 million in just 3 agendas, if everything got passed. Now, we must have the money, but I don't see our taxes going down.
I can't remember when the last time something was not passed. There's plenty of times, well, not plenty, but there's quite a few times that one of the counselors will vote against something because they don't like it or they have a question about it or something. But it always gets passed because the other 5 or 6
Yeah.
will vote for it. So that, nulls him out. But it's
You know-
just,
Go ahead.
it's horrible.
Like you were just saying, there's someone that will vote against it. Now, most of the time, that person is John Sadai,
Yeah.
which you got to give him credit. There's 2 sides to that. You got to give him credit for questioning it and even voting against it sometimes. But it doesn't do any good if no one's listening or following.
Yeah.
Because you got 6 other people that are going to vote for it.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to make yourself look great, you could vote along that line of voting against a lot of this stuff, and everybody will think you're a hero. Now, I'm not saying he's not. Don't get me wrong. I don't want him all pissed off at me. But it's got to make you crazy. I would be crazy if I was John. I'd be screaming
Yeah.
at some of this stuff because it makes no sense. And I don't know if or maybe you can see that a lot of this money that I was just talking about is going for downtown. Now, people come in, they buy a place or rent it, but they're trying to turn it into apartments upstairs and a business downstairs, and they're getting grants and all kinds of things from the council. Now, maybe there's programs that the money's for that, but I would think if you're going to open a business, you better have some money put aside somewhere. What else is going on with our?
Well, I was going to say, speaking along those lines, 116 Bank Street,
Yeah.
133 Bank Street, and 219 Bank Street,
I know, I saw that.
all money for roofs or for something in the restaurant.
One was for roofs. The other one was for some
And
kitchen
160
equipment.
It's not that much, but it's still plenty.
Yeah,
One's
but that
for
could be.
60,000, one's for 40,000, and one's for 50,000. That's $150,000.
I know, and with that thought in mind, like with the one there where they're giving them the money for some kitchen equipment.
Yeah.
It's going to be a restaurant. Now, if you're opening up a restaurant, don't you think you would have the backing to do that already? Not from the city, but that's the way it's being done. Now, when you say $150,000, Chef Tom with 2 M's, they cut his budget. So you have less places you can go to get food.
You can't go to him at all.
No, and the Elks, are they still doing it? They still have that little okay, so they're closed down, and who knows where else he brings food to, where the public can go to it. I mean, you would think this would be like number one.
Well, they have the one that Ledgelight does,
Yeah, but
but that's once a week.
it's not going to kill them to put 50 grand a year or something like that towards this gentleman so that he can keep feeding people in London that need to be fed, because it doesn't look good.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good to people that are thinking about moving here, and they check into what things are like, and they realize that, you see a lot of people on the streets that are homeless. We see people that, they're looking for honey, they're begging for money and stuff like that. You can get rid of a lot of that if you have what they need. You know what I mean? It's like the soup kitchen on Montauk. That's the only one I know of. And that ain't even the same thing as what Chef was doing.
No. Well, I know that he was offered $5,000 and refused it because he couldn't get the rest of the money that he needed to buy the food so that he could feed.
So instead of keeping the money and trying to do whatever you can, it wasn't going to work.
No.
So he actually gave the money back.
Yeah.
How many businesses downtown, when they realize they're not going to be able to make it, give money back?
Yeah.
It's just, it's showing a lack of compassion for seniors, and it takes away from some of the things they could be doing for the young people. But it doesn't seem to matter right now. And you know, I understand with the museum coming in, and they want to make downtown like, you know, old-fashioned. I mean, the buildings downtown are beautiful. Don't get me wrong. I love them buildings downtown, but I don't know. And then it was, they gave a grant to Muddy Waters for 50 grand. He had a fire in his basement. Not that bad, but this money was for him to point up all his bricks. The guy's got money.
Yeah.
Instead of that grant being used for that, it could have been used someplace else. It could have been used for towards a homeless shelter or something. I don't know. But nobody, you know.
Yeah.
Anyways, what anything exciting happened at the council meeting?
The council meeting. Just John stood up for, like, one of the questions he asked was about the 133 Bank Street, because that's 40,000, which was the least amount of.
What was that one for again?
It was for, I don't have my glasses on.
Oh.
An exhaust system.
You know what? Another thing I don't understand.
Excuse me, there should have been an exhaust system in there.
Well, I don't know. If it wasn't a restaurant before, they probably wouldn't have been.
Wow.
I know there's a pancake place going in, and what else did I hear recently that was going downtown? Besides the pancake house.
I don't know whether it says.
I don't know the other. Yeah, I never heard of that before. I mean, I can see the tax abatements. That's, which by the way, I think that has to be voted on every 5 years, but nobody pays attention to that. I lost my track of thought.
Well, I personally think that they're going to, this is just my opinion, that they're going to do the same thing that, what was the ones that were in where EB is right now?
Oh, Pfizer's?
Pfizer's. They're going to do the same thing. They're going to be there for 4 or 5 years and then pull out.
I don't know. I mean, it's been done once, or probably more than once, but it can be done again. But the fact that the shipyard is just across the river, and they're building the ships there, I don't know.
Oh, but they canceled the one.
Well, one, yeah.
Well,
But,
that
I
doesn't
mean-
mean they're not going to cancel the others.
We can't do that. We can't do it. Not with the way the world is now. The only thing that's kept us safe a lot over the years has been them submarines, because they're just so friggin' deadly, and they can wreak some havoc. I asked you last week about the trust fund for the seniors.
Yeah?
If you ever found out how much was still left.
No.
I tell you, whoever was, that day I was at that meeting and asking that, the one woman that was sitting kind of to this side of you, I think she was like a vice president or vice chair or something, I don't know. But she looked nervous when I was asking about that.
I don't remember that.
Black hair, that's all I remember. Anyways. And still no word on a driver? See, this is what I mean. You know, there's...
Well, they say they can't get the part for the bus. Then they said they got the part for the bus, the new bus, but they don't have the driver. And the city's not going to hire another driver. They don't want another driver. The
You know,
powers
if
that
they could show, I'm thinking about somebody like maybe EB over there, the Fort Trumbull area. You know, if somebody from the city went and talked to these people and see if they would donate so much money a year towards a driver for the seniors I mean, how many of those people running that business over there either are or going to be seniors? And then go to like, it's time for like Connecticut College to pay more. I mean, they only pay I think it's $24,000 a year for services.
Yeah.
So if they had a major fire and the fire department and the cops and everybody's there, I'm sure it's going to cost them more than $24,000 to
For
fix
Con
it.
College?
Yeah. I mean, it's ridiculous. And
I know the kids that are in the apartments aren't happy
really, why?
because they're charging them too much.
They what?
They're charging them too much.
Wait a minute. The people, see, I didn't know this. The college students that are living downtown, I thought that was to give them more room from the college because they don't have enough space at the college.
Well, it was because they didn't have enough space at the college, but they're charging them.
Yeah, but the people that have rooms at the college, well, I guess in a way they're paying for them, but is this... Man, this just don't seem right.
I know.
We gave them the friggin' land to begin with. All right, what else you got?
What else I got? Not much, a lot.
All right, I got a couple things here.
Okay.
When you...
No, I didn't.
No, you didn't, but I just thought about how this sounds to seniors watching this program. When you buy a plot to put your box in, and your ashes or whatever, you plant it in the ground, you pay, if you're going in the ground in a casket, you're paying, can be anywhere around $15,000 or so. Do you own that plot? Does your family own that plot, or does the cemetery own that plot and you just gave them $15,000 to be put in a hole?
I don't know. Because it used to be, when my parents were that age, you know, you'd buy the plots
Yeah,
and you owned them. And they were for your family.
yeah, I agree. But the reason I asked that is
don't
because
know.
there seems that some people that I've heard about are having an issue with one of the cemeteries where, I don't know, it sounded like you can't like put stuff on the grave. You put flowers, they go missing, or they don't want you to do that, or, you know.
Really?
Do they? I don't know. This is what I'm hearing. They're being told that you can't do that.
Well, I know somebody we could bring on the show that would
We should
answer
do that. Because I'm curious now. I mean, you know, if I want to put something nice on a relative's grave, I don't want the friggin' cemetery telling me, oh no, we don't allow that. We'll dig her up, I'm taking her with me. You know, that's all. That's just a joke. So I was just
You
curious
see Dennis
about
out
that.
there with the pick and shovel.
And with its teaspoon, you guys
Yeah.
are going to be here a while. But that was one thing I wanted to ask you about. Okay, so now I got
But I don't know who to ask about it.
good.
At least the one cemetery.
Let's try to set that up.
Okay.
Because it'd be good conversation as far as I want to be cremated. I don't want to be buried in the ground. Some people want to be buried in the ground. So it'd be good to find out the pluses and the minuses or whatever. So I got another thing I want to talk about, and that is Seaside in Waterford. Now, somebody's put a lot of money into trying to get that property to put condos and stuff. Now, you've been to Seaside, I'm sure.
I think so.
It used to be a sanitarium or something like that. I'm not sure how to pronounce that.
Sanitarium.
It's where the kids were going that had like TB and stuff in the early days. I worked there as a volunteer, as a real young guy. And then they were talking
That was
about,
last century, right?
at least, I don't know, they keep going by so fast. So the state talked about tearing the buildings down, and these buildings, they look ragged, but they're all stone, you know, and it looks pretty nice. I just went down there, had somebody taking pictures. And they were going to turn it into a park. Well, I think is a much better idea out of park is to turn it into a rehab center for veterans or firemen or policemen that get seriously hurt, where they need a place they got to stay as they recuperate, and have the doctors there and the whole. Now I'm talking probably like billions of dollars, but what the hell? We can take a couple billion from the Ukraine money. I'd like to send the idea to Trump. Because he would probably, well, I don't know about now. But don't you think that'd be a better idea for it?
Yeah.
Now, do you think if I contacted Nolan and that whacked out hair do woman there, what was her name? Oh, Martha. And brought a letter to the city council and mayor that they would sign in favor of doing this and helping however they can. Same with Waterford. I can just imagine somebody coming back and they're traumatized mentally. And instead of being in a city, which I don't know where all these VA places are, like the one we got downtown here, that's, it's all buildings. But imagine sitting there, or if you're minus a leg or whatever, you're in a wheelchair, and you're sitting there and you're looking out on the water. I mean, how much better can it get? And it wouldn't be any taxes for Waterford, but they would be all over the map. I don't know. I hope somebody watches this show tonight can actually take it further than what I have. And you can call. We're not AIs. That was the main thing I wanted to get to.
Yeah.
Was about Seaside, because I don't want to see friggin' condos there.
Well, I think they're gonna build condos out until they've given them away.
Oh, yeah. Well, we got condos, 85 apartments, I guess, going where the old lumber yard used to be on Howard Street. Across from where the community center is going to be, is going to be some kind of condo deal. So it cracks me up because each condo company that's built, they always have a section that says Riverview. Well, when they put the condos up next to the community center, they're not going to have no Riverview. It's going to be gone. All right.
I thought it was on the seaside.
They got two going. They got one going in Fort Trumbull and then the lumberyard place. Have you been to ShopRite lately?
Sort of.
Did you see the condos they built up there? And they're building more?
Oh, yeah, I know somebody that lives in one.
Yeah? They like it?
She does. I mean, she's only been there probably a month.
I don't know how people can pay $2,000 a month.
Oh, I don't know.
Well, around that much. All right. Enough on the. Did anything stand out at the council meeting Monday? Nothing was spoken about seniors, right?
No.
And nothing was spoken about children, right?
Well, because the children spoke at the meeting before, and there was a bunch of kids there that are from the place up the street.
I know what you mean, but I can't remember the name.
Yeah, I can. I didn't write it down.
But what were they talking about?
They were talking about the schools, and trying to get the school to put more money into the children and stuff.
Now, who was trying to get them to do that? The board?
No, the school is trying to. They were trying to get the school.
The students?
Yes, the students are trying to get the school board to put more money toward them and into them and help them. And
instead, they want to make.
They're giving themselves raises and not doing anything.
There hasn't been any word on the council up in what they're getting.
The
or
council,
mayor.
School board is meeting. Oh, it's not on that paper. What paper is? Here it is. April 17th, which is a Wednesday, at 6 o'clock in the chambers, in City Hall. They're talking to the school board. So if you want to know what the school board's doing, That's the meeting to go to.
Folks, you really need to just go to one council meeting and see, you're paying these people, we're paying them, no matter what they want to say, everybody in that council and everybody in that room is getting paid by us taxpayers. No one else is paying them.
I'm not getting paid by it.
No, I'm talking about the
Yeah.
counselors, the secretaries, the city clerk. They're all getting paid by us. And so, but it means nothing if you're not going to speak up about certain things. What was I going to say? Damn it.
Is that what you were going to say?
Nah. I want to. What have you heard about? They want to tear down 4 senior housings and build new ones. Is
Yeah.
that what I'm hearing?
Well, those are government.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, they're saying they were going to tear them down. This
Oh.
is with the last 4 or 5 years, they've been talking about redoing the roofs and redoing this and redoing that, and now all of a sudden they're going to tear them down.
And there's nothing's being said about where the people are going to go.
Well, I don't know.
We can put tents up in the park.
I mean, supposedly they're supposed to go back in there, but
Yeah, but where do they go in the meantime?
I don't know.
Because technically they should be paying for them to be in a hotel and not the Red Roof Inn.
Yeah.
Somebody told me
Well,
that.
they're probably going to put them in all these vacant apartments that are going to come up, down on Howard, and all over the place. They're building them, and the people are going to move out within the year.
Somebody could take all this a whole different way. Like, with the price they're asking for apartments, like a studio over 1,000 and whatever, and it doesn't cover anything. It's not paying your utilities.
Yeah.
They could look at it. Some people could look at it like they're trying to get rid of all the old people. They're trying to get rid of all the Section 8 people, low-income people, and bring all,
Oh, we thought that for a long time.
Oh, I know it, but nobody voices it. I'm probably the first one on TV to voice it.
I know.
I would think Marty probably already beat me to it, but anyways. So I wanted to ask you, someone told me this, I don't know if it's true, and you might not know. The park across the street from the church on Broad, the big high rise, which one is that?
On Broad.
Yeah, you go up Broad, and then there's the big church there, and
Broad. Oh, you're talking about further up.
yeah, actually, it's not. No, it's not. Ah, shoot. Name some of the high rises for the public housing or whatever.
Well, the Mohegan.
No, besides that one. What's the next one up the street from you?
There's none up the street from us.
Yeah, there is.
I mean, the kids from the college are up the street.
No, I'm talking further than that. I'm talking going up Broad Street, heading towards, like, Williams Park or whatever. Not that far. Oh, anyways, it don't matter. But somebody told me that they have intercom systems in this one particular building that they know of, where when a message needs to be relayed to the public in the building that are living in the building, it automatically comes over a loudspeaker. You ever hear that?
No, but that could be.
I don't. Is that a good thing or a bad thing?
I know that they have some kind of a PA system in the Coleman Street building. That's federal. Those are federal buildings.
But it's still the New London Housing Authority that.
Well, it's federal. It's New London Housing, but it's federal.
Does New London own any senior housing?
The state owns Hempstead. Is it Hempstead House?
Who owns Gordon Court?
The
State?
feds.
Oh, the feds.
That's the one with all the black mold.
Now, Now I can
Gordon Court is loaded with black mold.
Well, it was never kept up.
Yeah.
And you're right. Now it's probably so ingrained in everything that,
I think that's going to be one of the first ones to.
Yeah, I read something about that was going to be, yeah. I was just curious what happens to the people. I mean, it's not like you're uprooting a 30 or 40-year-old,
Yeah.
but some of these people have a tough time getting around. And will they be able to get back? Will they be given other apartments once it's done?
I don't know.
Are they going to pull a, what's the one they tore down? Anyway, I feel like I'm Biden now. Anyway. Anyway. Come on, man. All right. No new driver. And the story on the building is that we're still going to keep the senior center where it is, right?
Oh, yeah.
The new owners aren't
Falling
gonna,
apart and everything.
yeah, they're not going to push you guys out.
They know they're going to, we've got a hole in the roof already.
Really?
Well,
Oh, I'm curious. We talked about this last week a little bit. Is the fact that it's costing $92,000 about, more over than under, for 4 doors
oh,
at the city council. I mean, at the city hall. What have you heard about that?
just from you.
Yeah.
The only person I've heard it from.
Now I know there's probably a lot of work in it. I don't know why we need doors that are going to cost that kind of money. Maybe it's the construction of it or whatever. But when they do this and they put it on the agenda, if you want to figure out what the whole thing is, what the situation is, you can't, unless you're a friggin' engineering genius, you can't understand what the hell they're talking about. This here, 10 pages at least, with pictures of the doors to explain why they're buying 4 doors for $92,000. It doesn't tell, it tells you, this company is charging, I think, everything from screws to nails to whatever.
Yeah.
I didn't see how much the doors actually cost, but somebody should explain this better to us folks. There's no transparency.
Yeah.
There's none. They wouldn't care too less or wouldn't face them in the least if you didn't show up there with things to talk about for seniors.
No,
They don't care. And hey, if I'm wrong, I'll be the first one to admit it.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm wrong. I mean, an artsy kind of place, well, that's fine if you got everything around it to back it up. I just don't know how they're going to fill them stores. I really don't. You're having people buy them, and the only reason they're buying these buildings now
They're
is,
cheap.
well, yeah, but they can turn around when the museum's done and charge mutual bucks.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, there's one on Bank Street now where the guy wants like $600,000 for the building. He didn't pay that much for it,
No.
not even close. But, and
I wouldn't pay that much for the whole darn street.
all right, let's try a little.
Yes.
Let's try a little kind of national stuff. Oh, have you heard what they're going to name the community center?
No.
What do you think it should be named? Anybody got any ideas of what we should name the senior center? New London Senior Center? No, it's not even senior center. What am I talking?
No,
New London
it-
Community Center?
Is that for the community?
It depends what part of town you live in. Really.
And if you can get there.
Why can Waterford build a community center with a pool? Well, this is going to have a pool too.
Well, it says there's going to be a pool.
Well,
By the time they get it built, there might not be. Because those $50,000, no, it's not $50,000. 50% of the people that are going to run the place.
Oh, yeah, it's like the water commission thing there. I mean, we pay them, I forget how much it is a month, to run the whole water situation here. And any equipment that they use, they get paid for. And all it did was stop New London from having to deal with it and got rid of some jobs. They just love to get rid of jobs.
Yeah.
That's become a big word in our language, you know.
Dum-dum, dum-dum.
How do you... Are you following any kind of local news? Anything that jumps out at you that pisses you off? I might have not. I should have put it that way.
Yeah.
How much time we got?
Lots of things.
Trying to think of more stuff for
What
New
do you
London.
got?
I mean, there's so much going on. You know, these shooting things, the raid not that long ago on that lobster place downtown, you know, that little restaurant.
What lobster place?
Well, it's a little seafood place next to where they put that
The one on the
prefab.
field, on the pier?
No. You know where they built a new prefabricated place?
Yeah.
Well, next to it, there was I don't know if it was Spanish or what, but it was a little seafood place.
No.
It was only open certain nights a week. Well, they busted it, found all kinds of drugs, weapons, money
Yeah.
going on downtown. So
Got to try City Hall for that.
I want to know what they plan on doing, what the city or the mayor is going to do when the museum opens and all these people are hanging around downtown, whether it's homeless, whether it's druggies and alcoholics, whether it's panhandlers or whatever. I mean, they can't, they must be trying, I would hope they were thinking of what they're going to do about that, if
Yeah.
that they can do anything. I mean, we took a ride today, folks, by the community center, and they're going to town there. And I'll tell all you fathers that have sons, when it gets a little warmer, you should take them down there and figure out some way to let them watch what's being done, because I know as a little kid I loved playing with trucks. So if I could actually watch it as a little kid, I mentioned that to the mayor too. I think he actually liked the idea. But anyway. Okay. Now, you're an old California girl
Yeah.
who's been to probably a lot of concerts. You're probably an old hippie. Yeah, I know. I know. What do you think, what you see now? What's happened to California?
I don't pay that much attention to what happened to California.
Well, you
I
know.
don't hear that much about it because I don't have a TV.
Oh, that's true.
I haven't had a TV for a year and a half now.
I can't imagine not having a TV now. I used to, when I was younger growing up, I never had a TV either. Couldn't be bothered. Now it's like an addiction.
Yeah.
So is the freaking phone.
Yeah.
It's the biggest addiction going.
I don't
Telling
have
you.
that addiction too. So
All right, so what do you think? Okay, this title is Tennessee teacher accused of sexually assaulting a boy 12, allegedly harmed nearly 24 other minors. What should they do with this person, in your opinion?
put him in jail
That's
and
it.
let him be.
Well, actually, this is not him.
Oh, or her. Okay, put her in jail. Wow. That's
See, that's what I mean.
well, not that women.
Everything's so, there's no priority.
Yeah.
So who's going to win the election?
Trump.
I knew there was a reason I liked you.
Is there somebody else running?
Well, actually, there is. There's Joey. And
Who's Joey?
Joey Biden. Michelle Obama stepped out of the picture. Although I think they should be talking to Obama to find out who he thinks should run.
Yeah.
You got a Kennedy running on a third ticket of some kind. No, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, and folks,
I get to work April 2nd.
I got some really sad news for you all.
What?
Don't go banging your head against the wall. But Taylor Swift and her football player, they're taking a break from each other.
Da 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 da. What's that one say?
So this one is Tulsa faces 5,977 black workers in a factory racism lawsuit. You know,
What is it?
these 5,000, almost 6,000 workers at Tesla factory,
Yeah.
black workers, are claiming that they've had to put up with racial slurs, this, that, and another thing from other people. I don't know why they're suing the company. The company should just go in, and if they can prove these people really did this, fire them.
Yeah.
But why affect everybody? Because this lawsuit will affect no matter what color you are that working for Tesla. It will affect all of them. But the thing is, it just amazes me that we spend so much time on words. Now, somebody might say to me, well, you never lived this kind of life. You don't know what racism's all about. Well, what you do is you move on and you concentrate on getting a better life for yourself. You don't let this kind of stuff. If we didn't put so much stock in certain words, it would be a much better place. But no, some people just don't want to let it go. You know, I grew up in New London when I was first born till I was 9. I lived on every slum street you could possibly think of. Most of the times, whatever street I was living on, and I'm talking young now, I was usually one of the only 3 to 6 white kids on the block. Got my ass kicked quite a few times because, you know, some of them didn't like me because I was white. But the more we're going through this, she knows I'm on the air. If we could just find some way to get away from this stuff, you know? I mean, don't take a word so seriously. But anyways, another great lawsuit. America lost its moral compass. Yeah. They want to get rid of NATO, which I'm actually thinking they should. Where is NATO anyways?
I don't know.
I mean, it's supposed to be a world military in some sense that goes to places where there's trouble and tries to put a stop to it. Where are they when it comes to Haiti? You know what's going on in Haiti.
Yeah.
Where's the UN? Anyways.
Well, speaking of that,
Yes.
maybe you can explain this. I know that the country itself is, what do they call it? So they can come and go here?
Oh, the border?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come across, you know. But why is it that so many people can own a house down there, but come up here and live in housing? In senior housing.
And they own a home in
And
Florida?
No.
Where?
Further south.
What, in Mexico?
No. Puerto Rico.
Oh, in Puerto Rico. Well, yeah, that's kind of.
But they can own a home.
Oh, more than one.
Yeah.
They can own more than one. I don't know. See, this is, if they would put together an agency that would actually look into corruption on all levels, even like this thing here with the housing. If you own a home or two in Puerto Rico, there's no reason you should be doing housing and getting money from the United States.
Right.
You know, but nobody looks into that because a lot of it is because of the vote. You know, people want the vote. I seen Biden the other day on the news begging for the Puerto Ricans or Spanish people to vote for him, and they're not going for it this time. I don't know. There's too much stuff that's being overlooked. It really is. And even here, I mean, we got as much crime going on here on a smaller scale, but compared to ratio of a big city to us, it's probably just as bad, if not worse. You know, people are getting shot around here.
All the time.
Bank, I just pictured Bank Street with a couple more hotels and a community center, and at 3:30 trying to get down through Bank Street to go home. And you think they would know by now that everything they're doing, nobody from EB is stopping to spend time downtown.
Yeah.
They want to go home.
Yeah.
They're going to take their money and go home
Yeah.
and spend it there. So, I don't know. We only got 5 minutes left.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, that's another thing I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
How dare they, whether it's a city, state, or the federal government, how dare they spend all this money and give all this free stuff to people that are coming over the border that aren't even citizens? A lot of these people coming over the border, like Trump said in the beginning, murderers, rapists, and whatever else, criminals. Well, there are in that group of people, but they can spend billions of dollars on all kinds of stuff, but a flower shop has to raise money, $1,000, to pay off student lunch debt. These students shouldn't have to be paying for their lunch. I mean, that's at least what we can do for them. And the city claims how much they love the young people, but are they putting any money in to feed the kids?
That's not our city, though.
Huh?
That's not our city.
No, this is our city. Well, what's
London.
our city given to feed the kids?
I thought New London was feeding all the kids.
I don't know. Maybe they are. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But it's. Well, this was up in Montville. That's like.
Oh, okay.
That's
So
part
that's
of New
different.
London almost.
No, it's not. It's not New
It
London.
used to be. Yeah. Anyways, come on, folks. You got to go to these meetings so that you can help them. What's the word I want? Prioritize. I said that wrong.
Yes.
What they're doing with the money. I mean, how many of you drive up Willis Avenue from the Rotary? Have you seen that road? Have you rode on that road?
Yeah.
Have you seen how we have half of roads that are done? How about put some of that money back into us? There's sidewalks that are crumbling, and yet new sidewalks for downtown. Go ahead, your turn.
No, it's still 3 minutes. I've got pedestrian advisory.
What's going on with that?
Oh, lots. But, and I didn't bring my glasses. Let's see. Sidewalk repairs.
Is that strictly for downtown? that
No,
group?
this is all over. No, pedestrian advisory covers the whole city.
And how many
Within the
vacancies do they have?
How many do they have? Well, we had 2 people that have applied. So that will give us 3 plus the aide, those 2. So we've got room for 1.
What about the senior?
Seniors have room for 1. Senior affairs?
Yeah. So anybody out there watching, put my name in for that. They won't let me be on the committee because
Senior affairs?
yeah,
Why not?
because I've tried and tried.
We'll try again.
No, that woman, I don't know who's in charge of administration now, but they don't like me. They're picky. They're picky. You got to either be a Democrat or you got to be a Republican kissing their ass. One or the other.
I know
Probably by me
that.
saying that is another reason they don't want me on the committee.
But I don't kick their ass. I mean, I don't.
Well, yeah, I know, but I think they're afraid of you.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I have a house, 2 houses down from me. Nice house for sale, 2-family. Got a work shed that you would kill for. And they're asking $399,000 for it.
Wow.
How are people supposed to afford houses? Some of these places, like,
That's
New London,
ridiculous.
48 Ashcraft Road, 200,000. Farmington Avenue, 98,000. That's cheap. Vauxhall Street, 380,000. William Street, 270,000. Where's this money coming from?
I don't know.
All right, folks, we will. We're almost done here, so please pass the word that we're back on the air,
Yes.
and you never know who's going to be here. I mean, you got Grandma and Grandpa here. We'll always be here, hopefully.
We had an interesting speaker today. Got 2 minutes. Anyway, at Kiwanis. He's the guy that runs the heavy hitters.
Oh, the boxing thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's boxing, wrestling, and one other.
Is that downtown?
There's one downtown. I think he's got 2 places
Oh,
down.
yeah, that's right. He does. He has one on Broad Street, I think.
Yeah. So he was very interesting.
That's nice to see. My brother, God rest his soul, he was into boxing heavy. He used to box for the police department in Norwich.
Yeah.
And he says, the end of the show, he said he got clocked so many times in the head that he didn't even hear the bell and it was time to walk back to the corner. They had to go get him. All right, folks, thanks you for joining us.
Thank you now.
And we'll be playing musical chairs next week.